Hey everyone, Mozine here. I am just going to run through 7 frequently asked questions that I've been seeing in the Discord server. The first one is, can I play on my own land? No, you can't. This is currently a testnet build. All of the land NFTs are on the mainnet. And since this was going to be available for such a short time period, the Illuvium team chose not to remint all of those land plots on the testnet. Then they would have had to also redistribute those to the mainnet landowners and match up email addresses and wallet addresses and all of that, which would have gotten a little bit complicated and time consuming for very limited trial period. So they chose not to do that. So right now it's just a free to play plot. But on the 25th, the game will be launched on mainnet, and at that point you should have access to all of your lands. Why can't I build more buildings? If you're running into a situation where you can't, you can come to build structures and you can see how many structures you have built out of your maximum allowed, which is 102. And that maximum goes up every time you upgrade your town hall. So if I hit upgrade on my town hall, I can see at Nexus level 8 I will have 152 structures available. It will increase by 50. And so you can see what that is and make that upgrade. How do paths work now? So if you go to the eyeball and look at the path bonus, it'll show you how much time reduction all of the buildings that are connected to paths get. And you can also click on an individual building just to confirm that that building is receiving the path bonus. And it's at 10% right here because you get 1% as soon as you attach one path to one building. And then after that first 1%, you get another 1% every 10 buildings that are connected to the same path. So all of my paths are connected in this plot. If I were to break that up, though, you can see what I mean. So if I break that into 2, now we have 2 sections of my map that each have 5% time reduction. If I split off just a few buildings up here, you can see that section just has a 1% time reduction. Both of these still have enough buildings connected to have that 5% reduction. And I've tested this up all the way over 100 buildings for 11% time reduction. It's a very consistent every 10 buildings I've added. The next one, why aren't my buildings generating resources? And a related question, how does power work? So if your building has just stopped generating resources, likely you upgraded a building nearby or added a building that requires power. And you now need power stations within range of your buildings to supply that power. So if I go to show power, I can click on one of my power stations. We can click on this one. It's a level 4, so it's providing 2500 power. If I hit move, then the tan area highlights and shows all of the space that that power station can cover, and the power will be equally distributed to all of the buildings that require it within this range. And so here you can see there's a converter. It'll have this little red mark if it's not currently being powered. That's because this is one's currently being built. This converter, the fuel converter, the element converter, the extractor, and the other converter here are all within that yellow square. So those 4 buildings will take power from this power station evenly. They'll also take power from any other power stations within range of them evenly. And so it's a little bit hard to calculate out, but generally if you're building power stations to get efficiencies up, and you just take the time to upgrade those periodically, power really won't be much of an issue for you. Another question. How do I stop my extractors and converters so I can upgrade them? So what happens to a lot of people is when they start a building going, if I wanted to do a conversion here, I see this repeat button. This is a really nice feature that's been added. It allows you to just, with one click, collect that resource that's been generated and restart that process. So that's great, except when a building is doing that, you can't come in and upgrade the building. And so you need to wait for that to complete and not start again to upgrade it. And the way to do that is to come into production in the activity menu and go to production, and then here you can see all of the buildings that are set up to repeat, and all you have to do is turn that off and wait for that process to complete, or you could cancel it if you want to upgrade it right away, and then it'll be ready to upgrade. Next one is, why can't I collect resources and finish building from the map view right here? And so here you can see the little bubbles above the buildings, and once they complete, I can click on those to complete them. But what some people run into is if they have one of these show buttons on, like show power, show efficiency, you can see those bubbles disappear with any of these. Resources, so the bubbles are gone. Stage, they're gone. The only one that you can have on is the path bonus. Otherwise, if you have any of these on and you leave them on, you won't be able to collect anything unless you go to the activity menu, and then you can collect from either of these tabs. Why can't I upgrade the Nexus? So some people run into this where they've started this airdrop, and this is a free thing to start. It gives you very minimal amount of element resources, and the purpose of that really is just to help you out if you've gotten yourself in a position where you're stuck in the early game, and maybe you spent resources the wrong way and now you can't build something that you need to, and you are unable to get the resources that you need. And so what you have to do is you have to come into production, find that airdrop activity here and cancel that out. You can cancel that, there's no problem. You really don't lose anything there other than the time if you really needed those resources, and now you can upgrade that again. And that's it for today, everyone. Wanted to keep it short. Good luck, everyone, with the mainnet launch on the 25th, coming up very shortly.